Good afternoon, honorable members of the board. My name is Eric Willemse, and I'm a resident of San Francisco's Sunset District. I'm a high school social science teacher and an anti-nuclear activist with Beyond the Bomb, an organization dedicated to ending the threat of nuclear weapons. The Cold War officially ended on December 25, 1991, with the dissolution of the Soviet Union. We subsequently forgot about the threat of nuclear weapons posed over the next couple of decades, but now that threat is back in our collective minds with a vengeance. Russia claims to have developed new, more evasive nuclear weapons, and Trump is calling for an expansion of our own nuclear arsenal and capabilities. And in this context, our own president engages in a Twitter war with North Korea's brutal dictator over whose nuclear button is bigger. The nuclear threat posed today is real and it is terrifying, but we can decrease that threat. First, we should support the Lou Markey Act, H.R. 669, which would rein in the president's authority to launch a nuclear first strike without explicit approval from Congress. Second, we should show this administration from the local to the federal level that we will not stand idly by while this presidential administration reverses the progress that every president since Reagan has made toward eliminating nuclear weapons and the threat they pose to humankind. It is imperative that we end the president's unchecked nuclear authority before that unchecked authority ends us all. Members of the board, I ask you to please pass the resolution introduced earlier by Supervisor Tang. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Next speaker, please.
Hi, my name is Yasmine Silva. I'm also an organizer with Beyond the Bomb and a resident of the Mission District. And I was under the impression that a resolution would be introduced, so I'm going to speak to that. I think Eric laid out the problem. Right now we have 6,800 nuclear weapons, each hundreds of times more powerful than those we dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And the man who has sole authority over that in the White House makes me extremely nervous. He can decide to do a first strike that impacts millions of lives. I think that that's why a resolution from the local level calling on legislation and pushing our congressional delegation to, right into the mic. It's something, nuclear weapons are something that someone like me has been told will be taken care of by somebody else, that I shouldn't care about it and that my voice doesn't matter. And I think that's why a resolution of this kind is so powerful. It places a value on diplomacy and human life, and this resolution supports legislation that takes into account how the weighty decision to use nuclear weapons of mass destruction is something that no one person is equipped to make a decision on. And we see this more than ever. While I'm excited about the idea that the US might engage with talks in North Korea, I know that given the president's past behavior, if things don't go his way, he can get petulant and want to retaliate. Right now, there's nothing stopping him from doing that with nuclear weapons. So that's why all of us in yellow here today are pushing for the passing of this resolution. If SF passes this resolution, they'll be joining many other states, cities, college campuses, and organizations in trying to tie the president's hands and stopping us from plunging into nuclear war. So thank you.
Hello, my name is Dr. Robert Gould. For identification purposes, I'm Director of Health Professional Outreach and Education at UCSF School of Medicine, program on reproductive health and the environment. But I'm here speaking for Physicians for Social Responsibility. I'm a former president of our national organization and have been president of our local San Francisco Bay Area chapter, and we represent thousands of physicians and health professionals concerned about nuclear weapons. We shared with the International Physicians for the Prevention of Nuclear War the Nobel Peace Prize in 1985 for our continued work to eliminate nuclear weapons, and I'd want to salute Supervisor Tang for introducing this very important resolution. We know from the masterful work of Eric Schlosser, Command and Control, that there have been dozens, if not more, episodes where we as a planet came to the brink of extinction because of the threats of accidental nuclear war. This has been reinforced by Dan Ellsberg's doomsday machine, which has underscored the severe dangers that we face, including the fact that even a regional nuclear war can lead to the type of nuclear winter on our planet that would cause up to 2 billion people around the planet to die of malnutrition from the nuclear detonations. For these reasons, we join many of the organizations here in supporting this very important resolution. I'm a grandfather of 2 kids in this city, but it's not just my own grandchildren I care about. I care about the future of our planet. It's very important for San Francisco to make a stand here and support H.R. 669 and take presidential authority from firing off these nuclear weapons with no further controls. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Next speaker, please.
Hi, I'm Patrice Sutton. I'm a scientist at UCSF. I'm speaking for myself as an individual. I'm also a member of Physicians for Social Responsibility, and I'm also echoing the other comments you've gotten, speaking in support of your support for HH 669, and also thanking you so much for paying attention to this issue. It's such a huge issue, and I know you confront so many issues in terms of all the problems in our city. I've lived here since 1982, but it really does warrant your timely attention. I wanted to particularly support your support of HH 669 because it can have a lot of national implications in terms of San Francisco speaking up on this. The idea that anybody should have the power to get us into a nuclear war seems so crazy, but it's also really among leaders in the globe who've thought about this issue also does not have resonance. There was in 2006, there was a Weapons of Mass Destruction Commission that was headed by Hans Blix, and it had such illustrious people as William Perry, former U.S. Secretary of Defense, on it. So this was a commission that was looking at the issues that are related to HH 69. And I just wanted to quote in terms of hoping to inspire you to really pay attention to this issue. So long as any state has nuclear weapons, others will want them. And I will just say that they said that nobody should have the power to launch this, and it's been very undemocratic, and thank you for your support for this.
Thank you for your comments.